KHOU 11 News at 4 starts now.
And good afternoon. A very busy day. We are following two big stories right now. First, an exclusive interview with a friend of the suspected killer of a Houston cardiologist. He paints a chilling picture of an expert marksman and a man he says who was bullied as a child.
And we are watching breaking news unfolding in East Harris County. A suspect has just surrendered after a SWAT standoff that lasted several hours at a home daycare center. At one point this afternoon, officers rescued several children from the home, pulling them out of windows. Stephanie Whitfield live in Channel View. So Steph, how did this all start?
Well, it all started, we're told, when this suspect allegedly blew through a red light, refused to pull over, fired shots at deputies, then ran. We're told he ran into his grandma's house that happened to be a daycare. Now let's get to some video from earlier today. Deputies swarmed North Silver Green Drive in Channel View. The SWAT team pulled a total of 8 children out of the window and brought them to safety. Now that was at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and the suspect didn't give himself up until 3:30. It turns out those kids in the daycare weren't the only ones potentially in harm's way. There were also 6 kids in the house next door. Their mom found out what was happening on the news and got right in her car.
I was like speeding 100 on the freeway. I'm sorry for that. I know I'm wrong for that, but my kids are there and they're in danger. I'm going to do anything I have to do to get home to my kids.
It turns out her children were safe in the police staging area. Again, this 19-year-old suspect gave himself up without incident about 30 minutes ago. Now, you may be wondering why he ran. Well, deputies say he had an outstanding warrant for burglary out of Arkansas, and it's safe to say he'll have some more charges on his record now. Guys, back to you.
All right, glad everybody is okay. Thank you, Stephanie. Now to our exclusive interview with the man who paints a very scary picture of this guy, Joseph Pappas, the prime suspect in the killing of a Houston cardiologist. He says Pappas was bullied as a kid, and he believes the doctor was on a hit list of people Pappas wanted to kill. That man also told us he has known Pappas for years, but is so afraid of him, he asked that we not show his face and disguise his voice. He talked with our Matt Doherty, who's live in the suspect's neighborhood this afternoon. Matt?
Lynn, what the man told me today is truly frightening. He does not believe Joe Pappas is finished.
You know, hanging out together over burgers and tacos, telling stories. And he mentioned being called the Greek shrimp in high school, and that, you know, karma's a real bitch, and one day, you know, the people that bullied him in high school would meet a day of reckoning.
Too afraid to reveal his identity, this former friend of murder suspect Joseph Pappas wants to warn others who may have known him.
I personally do not think that the doctor is the only person that he is going to target. I think he was number 1 on the list, and Joe is extremely intelligent. He's patient. He's unassuming. He's good at surveillance. He's a deadly shooter. And so, you know, knowing that I'm not on his list is a good thing. I mean, he made the comment as a joke. Like I said, at the time I thought it was a joke. Hey, don't worry, you're not on my list. Now looking back on that, it makes me queasy thinking that, oh wait, maybe this guy has a list.
The man sharing this story says Pappas is an expert marksman and skilled at using a variety of firearms. He was a regular competitor in local shooting competitions. Tomorrow, it will be 2 weeks since police say he shot and killed cardiologist Dr. Mark Houseknecht while riding a bicycle, twice in the chest, once in the head.
If there's a bully that he had in high school, I would tell that person to take an unplanned vacation to Alaska, tell everybody you're going to Florida and hop a plane to, you know, someplace very cold. I have no idea what he's thinking because I never saw this coming from Joe.
Now, the man I spoke with says that he never physically saw a hit list. We asked police about this, whether or not they believe one exists. They say they cannot comment on tips or the investigation at this time. We'll have more of that interview coming up tonight at 6, but for now, we're live in Westbury. Standing for Houston, Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
Those are scary details. Thank you so much, Matt. You know, we're following another case, a 19-year-old charged with the murder of a Good Samaritan faced a judge today. Deputies say Gilbert Gomez Jr. drove the getaway car after Moises Araguin was killed. The father of two was trying to protect his teenage neighbor during an armed robbery when he was shot. 2 other teens have also been charged. Investigators say one more suspect is still on the run.
Now to a consumer alert. More than 1 million Ram pickups are being recalled because the tailgates fly open while you are driving. That's not supposed to happen. Fiat Chrysler says it needs to fix the power locking mechanisms on the tailgates. The recall applies to models made between 2015 and 2017. So far, no injuries have been reported. We have a list of these specific models on our website, KHOU.com.
Apple has become the world's first publicly traded company to be valued at $1 trillion. Shares are up 20% this year thanks to strong iPhone sales. Just 11 years ago, the company was close to bankruptcy.
The news not good for specialty retailer Brookstone. That company closing all of its mall stores and filing for bankruptcy. It is the second bankruptcy filing in 4 years. The company has been losing mall customers to online shopping.
All right. Well, if you've been outside today, you have felt how actually kind of nice it feels because there isn't a lot of humidity.
But rain chances sneaking back in is what Brooks calls it, into the forecast. What's the deal there?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's going to be too sneaky. It's going to be like dry tomorrow and then boom, rain on Saturday for a lot of the day and in a lot of spots. Right now it's 94 degrees. It's hot outside, but the humidity is just, it's just not there. Especially if you're away from the coast, it feels pretty good outside. Not much of a heat index to talk about, but this is what I'm tracking. We've got a big dip in what is the upper level flow. This black dashed line is an elongated area of low pressure, and it's all moving our way this weekend. So all this storminess out in the Gulf is going to come our way for Saturday and for Sunday. So we'll have periodic showers and storms beginning on Saturday. It'll be hot and dry until then through the day tomorrow. I wouldn't cancel plans on the weekend, but I would keep an eye to the sky at all times, just in case, especially if you have an event that's sensitive to getting wet outside. 94 degrees in Houston, 95 in Sugar Land. It's dry everywhere, but at the immediate coast, while Galveston is 88, it feels like it's about 100 degrees down there. So in our forecast, we're looking at a slow but steady decline. But look at all this dry air, guys, coming up that forecast.
Thank you, Brooks.